Hey, what's up guys, Coilovers here. So today we got a really special video. Today we're going to be putting on some coilovers on this 2019 Civic. Alright, so let's get started.
So I already went ahead and put the car on jack stands. I found it pretty difficult to find a spot to jack the vehicle from. So I put the base of the jack right here. This is the front subframe. So lift it from here and then you'll be able to get your jack stand in right there. And then same for this other side. What I do is I just look for this this plastic rivet and kind of put it around that area. It'll go right into the subframe and you'll be alright lifting it from there. And then the back is pretty self-explanatory. Just jack it up to the suspension. Go up and put your jack.
Now that we have the wheels off, first thing you're going to want to do is take off the ABS sensor. Definitely do not want to stretch this wire, and then take off the caliper. Once they clip off, you're just going to take a needle nose plier and squeeze it right here, and then just kind of pull it out. Well, it's going to be on the other side, but you'll see what I mean. Just squeeze it with a needle nose plier to come off, and then this rubber grommet just pops off from here. This sway bar link off. It's a 14mm. Make sure to hit it with something that runs on air or something pretty powerful so you don't have to mess around with it, because it's not strong enough. It's just going to spin this, and it's going to take a while to get. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to record this with one hand, so let me just tell you what I did. Alright, so you're going to take this bolt out here that's on the strut. Then you're going to take the 3 nuts off the bottom of the ball joint, and then you're going to pull this whole hub assembly out of the arm. So push the arm down and it should pop out. And then after that, you're gonna get this piece where the ball joint bolts up to the lower control arm, put it underneath the lower control arm, and that should give you enough clearance to pop this out of the strut. And then after it's out of the strut, you're gonna want to hook one of these studs back into the lower control arm so it doesn't pull the axle out. Alright, so that's where we're at with that. So now this is all loose, and we're going to go ahead and take these 3 nuts off the top and drop the factory strut. Take these 3 nuts off. What I suggest is take 2 out. So I took these 2 out, then left this one, and then go ahead and get your tool, get this loose, and hold the bottom of the strut with your other hand while you loosen this one with the other hand. So when it drops free, it doesn't fall and damage anything. So you definitely don't want to damage anything down here. It's going to be expensive if you damage it. Alright, so let's go to the coilovers. Now we're going to put the new coilover in the car. Just hold it with one hand and then start the nuts with the other hand. Now don't tighten these yet, you want to leave them loose, so it can still wiggle around. Next, we went ahead and lubed up the bottom of the coilover with WD-40. So you're going to line this fin up right here. Go on this side, go on this side. This fin with this hole, so it'll slip in. So I went ahead and put the ball joint back on. I'm going to put the nuts on. Kind of assist me in pushing this thing back up. There it is. And then put that 17 through the side, and then tighten it. And then just go ahead and tighten up everything. And then we'll move on to the rears. Now we're going to do the rear coilovers. So we're going to put the jack under here to hold up the control arm. And we're going to go ahead and take this bolt off. Alright, so now we're going to take this bolt right here. It's 12mm, so take that out. And then we're going to go ahead and lower the jack real slow. We're going to go ahead and take this 17 off. Alright, so to pull the shock off, you can see the bolt there
other bolt there. And then so we're gonna go ahead and take those 2 bolts out.
Alright, so I went ahead and took the shock out. It sits on top of this collar. So you'll have to push the shock back into the car and it should pop right off. And we'll take this cover off. Now we can take this nut off. Alright, so I got the nut off. I should go ahead and take this boot off. That's for that. I'll take the boot off here. Bump stop off. Yeah, now we have this. So we got our coilover. Put it on there. Put the end up for the coilover over it. Tighten it down. And then if you lost track of which way this goes, so this little hole points towards the outside of the car. Alright, so now we have our shock on. Now you're going to go ahead and take your spring assembly and put it into the perch. Just go like that. This side first, make sure it has the rubber piece on the bottom. Just place it in there. And take the spring, put it on there as well. Upper piece and put it on there. Alright, so now you're gonna go ahead and jack this up. Make sure the spring goes into this knob right here on the body, and then tighten it up. Make sure to put your sway bar link on as well, and then you're done.